Okay, it's super early. I don't feel like I got very much sleep at all. I feel like today is really sketch too. Like I can't talk about some of the TikToks I saw, but like last night when I went to bed, I could not. Like I said when I was driving home, and I'm telling my guides, just show me what I need to see. Show me what I need to see. I'm always like rushing it. Come on, let's do this. Let's do this. And, they're just like, oh, you're just going to percolate on this one. We got nothing for you right here. You just think about it. Think about it. And so it just is, it's like, man, come on. How much do I have to think about this? This is fucked, man. But it's stuff like you have to process. You have to see. It's like, and as you're going through it, it's like, you're not even clear what you're seeing because you have your own expectation and your own anticipate, all the things that we are putting out there. And everything is shifting around, So it is weird. It's really weird. Because everybody is showing their truth themselves, who they are and stuff. And things are just, I don't know, I can feel this like shifting kind of, well, I don't mean kind of, but I don't know how else to explain it. But, when like last night, because it goes out, like I said, a lot of times I just come on here and do this just because I have to clear out my head. And so it has this, just relentlessly showing me stuff about, or giving me thoughts and having me, look at a certain perspective. And when I was there, I was trying to just be really optimistic and just show, who I was. I'm a caring person. I love my kids. I love my grandkids, I don't know. It's weird. It's like, what do you want from me? Like, seriously, what in the hell is your fucking damage? What is your expectation? What is the price I have to pay? And so I was like, when I first saw it, I was just like, okay, well, whatever, I wasn't really expecting a warm welcome or anything. I was expecting it probably was going to be uncomfortable. And, I really was thinking that I'm probably not going to be welcome because my daughter hasn't even said anything to me. Like, she hasn't said anything. And so I was just like, okay, well, it's going to probably be uncomfortable. You're not, it's just go into it. Just be yourself. Just, you don't be affected by how other people behave. And so I went and I did that, and, it was treated, it wasn't just like hiding how they felt. There was no hiding it, Even with my youngest granddaughter, I could see her awkwardness. Like, and there was times where she would just completely go, not be next to me and go stand by her mom. I don't think I have to explain every little thing for, either people get it or they don't get it. You get it when you've been through those certain experiences and you have empathy or compassion for certain experiences because you've been through it, you understand it. And that is what we're all trying to, add into our state of being, is to have more empathy and more compassion for everyone's experience. And so anyways, but there's people who don't have any empathy or compassion for people in their own family. Like, when I really think about, like 28 hours of my time that I spent to go there, $100, my last $100 in my account. Right now I have $1.32 in my account. I spent my last $100 and my tank's empty. And I don't like to not have gas in my tank because of the evacuation, and it could go at any moment. But it was just like, and I'm not saying like, oh, you owe me, I did this. I did it freely. I did it with my own free will. I did it not with an expectation that I was going to, win their love or acceptance or something in some way. I did it, one of the things was I wanted to take the chair I wanted to take the gifts that I had made, and I wanted to take them and give them. And, and show I'm a loving person. I love you. I don't know what your issue is. I don't know how much a person can do to prove they love somebody, like driving across the path several times, and rescuing somebody and giving them a place to stay and regroup and all of that stuff. And, there was, my one daughter just told me that this daughter is so mad at me for one of the things was because when she got to Spokane, after she already couldn't handle it here, I was horrible. I'm living for free and expecting someone else to do everything for you. Like, that was way too hard on her. And then she moved over and she was going to be some housemaid for somebody and have a cheap room or something. And it was hours closer to her kids. So I was like, oh, this is so much better. And I don't have to, you've got so many problems. And go over there. That lasted a couple weeks. And then went into have her boyfriend come rescue her. Go there. That lasted a couple weeks. So all of these situations that she couldn't make work, and then get to Spokane, and then there was a problem there. And then she said that she was going to have to go stay in a shelter. And I said, well, you got to do what you got to do. I was like, what? And she's so mad because I have such a bad attitude. Well, if you can't figure out how to make it work anywhere you go, like, you got to figure it out. Like, seriously, what does it take for you to get to realize it's a give and take here. It's not just you vacuuming out everyone's energy and taking and taking and taking from others. There's a give and take. There's a balance that has to occur. Otherwise, you will just feel like an empty vessel because you're so busy sucking the life out of everybody else and just have no time. I don't know. I say things that are too true, I guess. I'm not much of a person to try and be careful or something, especially since my brain injury, because it just is like, why would I not be honest? Why would I not tell the truth? Like, that doesn't make any sense to me. Because someone's feelings get hurt. Well, doesn't that say that something about their feelings, that there's a problem there? Because we should all be able to hear the truth, shouldn't we? Why would that hurt our feelings to hear the truth? Like, if you seriously can't make it at all these different places and you're not even paying. One of them was, I think, $100, and then you had to feed the dogs and clean up the kitchen or something. And, but I don't know. But to go over there and then it was so, I had to have that happen right as I was going. I had to see it because I already had all this intuition and stuff. Like, is he purposely trying to not talk to me? Like, every time, like, I'm around, like, it's like, go the other direction. Like, when you start seeing this stuff, and it's like, okay, well, people are busy. They've got other people here. But when you go over there and you're like, well, let me know when she goes into labor. And it is, I'm going to try and keep you updated. And then she comes over to monitor the conversation. And then I say, well, let me know when you're going to labor. Yeah, we'll see. I was like, well, I don't need to see anymore. Thank you. Thank you for making it crystal clear to me. It took me a couple days to come to the realization of literally, you invited me somewhere where I was definitely not wanted. You took from me again, even when you have literal despise for me, but you still take from me, and you take from my time, my money, whatever, and there's no reciprocation. There's no giving back. There's not even a kind word. There's not even a thank you. It is, She might have said it at some point, so I can't say. I mean, at some point of one of her, couple seconds of saying something, she could have said, "Oh, thanks for coming." You know, uh, maybe that was like, it was such a big deal to her that it was like, I've done everything I can. I've really gone far beyond what is necessary with this woman. It's like, this woman doesn't need to be involved in your life. It's okay. It's okay. My life will be okay. I don't have to surround myself with people who don't like me. It's fine, and I can come to terms with, like, they're adult people. These are not my little toddlers or something anymore. These are adult people making choices for themselves. Because the other daughter has elevated in her hatefulness, now taking her hatefulness out about me on another daughter. So that's what I'm saying, is this stuff, it just seems to be building up, this people leaning which direction they're going to lean. And if you're leaning on hatefulness and separation and judgment, then, it's obvious to me, well, I mean, I can't say so obvious, like it was still, I think I kind of, you want to make excuses for people, like, well, they're just busy. Well, I'm, whatever. I don't need to see anymore at this point. Now it's just like, okay, well, I'm not going to call and say something rude or anything like that. I'm just not going to call. I'm sure I know what the one dog, I just know stuff. It's hard to just always know stuff. It really is. Like, I know stuff before it happens. Am I just making every single thing happen, or am I being shown or guided or understand and just see things? I don't know how it all works. I just know stuff before it fucking happens all the time. And I get constant confirmation. Yeah, how it always works for me is they'll show me something. It could be in a movie, it could be someone talking, it could be anything. I swear to God, I can drive down the road and see someone playing on the side of the road with the dog, and they'll show me this whole thing. Like, it can be anything. And because it was something, one of the things that they had shown me was stuff about, like, this, the farm of, I don't think it's a baby, and it's like a place where they just make them. Like they showed me this stuff, and anyways, I've just heard people talking about it. Survivor. I just heard a survivor talking about it, and it was like just what I was shown. And then she was talking about, and I know this because I had seen Ryan Reynolds' wife, I can't think of her name, but she was talking about this in some sort of thing. And it's weird because I just saw Ashton Kutcher doing it too. And I don't think Ryan Reynolds does, but there's a few of these actors that go on this platform about this, what happens to the kids and the trafficking and farming and all of that situation. So all of that stuff, that they are trying to help it or solve it or whatever. And when she was talking, that's when I found out about the most sought after, like the primo stuff, is an infant. Yeah, I think it's, God, you gotta be so careful about word. A VIP the situation. And you can look it up. Like, it is just doing something very intrusive to something to death. That's, within, it can be minutes old, I guess. Hour, I think the fresher, the better. And then the consumption of the whole thing, it's just, that's big money. People pay big money for that. There's people fucking starving. There's people who don't have homes. And there's people who hoard money. God. Stuff has to. I mean, if people can't, I don't know. I see so many people, they just want to hold on and hold on. Like, people bitching and complaining about stuff that goes on at school. Like, doing TikToks, bitching and complaining about stuff that goes on in school. Why are you trying to stay involved in the schools? Why can't you see what this place is? Why are you talking about what they're teaching your kids and what the teachers are saying, what they're doing? And you see this fucking guy, I think he's a Canadian teacher, going to school with these big giant fake boobs, his wig and it. It's like, oh my God, who is sending their kids to these places with these weirdo people? That just want to change how your kids think, warp their minds into government institutionalized indoctrination. It's all those places are for. And then you have these people, I just can't believe it. I can't believe this happened at school. I can. Like, oh my God. And the same with the medical. Same with the goddamn fucking... Get out there and go, you know what's going on in November. You better go blue. You better go blue. You better go red. It's like, I better go to a fucking insane asylums where I fucking better go. Oh my gosh, I just can't even, like, what does it take? Like, seriously, these people have to walk up and shoot you in the face? Like, what does it take to get people to catch on to what is happening here? That I heard somebody, the Putin speech is just going around and round and round. And, you know, and that's clear. I mean, this morning we have, I think it happened last night. It's probably still going. I don't know if that was their daytime and they're asleep right now. It's going to start back up. I'm not sure of the whole schedule. I've seen all the people sharing now. North Korea has started shooting missiles over to Japan, saying they're testing, and it is how far that they can get over to here. And the whole thing is this is them fighting against the cabal. Like, that guy has no problem with Trump. It's the group that is trying to take over the world. That's who Putin and Kim Jong or whatever. I can't say that. I'm not even gonna pretend that his name. That is what they're fighting for. They're fighting for the people. I mean, the one guy, the Russian one, he even said that all of these people who are mass murdering all of us, that this has got to stop. You know, I mean, he puts it all out there. And I don't know. It's just... The whole thing is just so slow and tedious, and just to watch people just be like, oh my gosh, like one after another. It's like, oh my gosh, this is so slow and so tedious. But today I feel like, you know, I mean, they got all of that stuff going on. I'm not talking about, like, all of this stuff. It's very tedious. Like I've said, it's like a Chinese water torture, but it's so tedious is just watching as people, like, oh, a light bulb just came on. Oh, a light bulb just came on. But then the people who just keep fighting to keep this system alive, to, you know, make it work. We got to get this to work better. No, we don't. It is like, how can people not see? It is ending. It is the end of this. It's the end of this whole entire game. And it has been so manipulated. I don't get. People are just so willing to just accept nothing. Like, you know, it's the same thing of, like, now pushing, like, wanting homeless people, just kill yourself. And I saw 16 representatives in Congress or something voted against Florida getting money. Then I saw this other one, oh, well, Walmart, Coca-Cola, Nike, they're, you know, all these corporations, they're all giving millions of dollars to Florida because it's so devastated. Well, North Carolina, South Carolina, I mean, they're all devastated right there, but they're just, it's all a game, it's all a show. And so they're they're giving all this money. All these corporations are just pulling it together, oh, we're gonna really help out here. Oh, it's like the person who was sharing this video, this woman out there talking and explaining how much money they've gotten together to give to people because there's so much need. And the corporations, thank you, Lord Jesus, and it was like, okay, where'd that money in Haiti go? What's going on in Katrina? Is it rebuilt yet? Like, I live right here next to a flood zone. It's not rebuilt. They don't give you money. It's a game. Money just circles right back to them. They don't fucking do shit. Talk to the people in Haiti if you think that they are going to rescue the Floridians. Like, that's not happening. Every loss is a loss. That's it. It's gone. Everything is being taken away from people, especially as long as you keep trying to hold on. Like, I'm sure it is so trippy to me. It's like I feel the ground underneath me giving out. It is weird as shit. Like, I had so many plans. Like, even when I moved into this place and I started fixing it up and I had so many plans, and I don't know, it still could go that way. Like, I seriously, you have no idea what is, like, anything can happen. And I think, like, they're saying, I don't know, all the games that they're playing with the Dow and stuff like that. Oh, we rushed in, we rescued the pound, we're doing this, we're doing that, we're saving it, we're saving the world, people, we're gonna save this dollar for you. Like, it's not fucking, no, it's not. It's a fucking show, it's a fucking game. They got you glued. They got you fucking on the depression meds. Oh my God, what's gonna happen? What's gonna happen? I fucking still see people, hide your cash, hide your cash. Oh, God damn. Fucking Jesus. I sound so judgmental. I sound so like, it is, I've got to release some of these emotions. It is, it's beyond my comprehension at this point. Like, oh my God. People just don't think. They don't. And I just saw somebody talking about the chemical lobotomy that's been done on people throughout our whole entire lives. Well, yeah, I can see that. And that I saw stuff about, like, with the DNA and stuff, and what the was to change. She went through, explained that there's 5 of these peptides, all of this stuff. And then this thing, it's in their paperwork, changed it for the number pattern. And then got the 666 in there. And then that is because the other one is the Hebrew word of the code is Yeshua or something like that. The real name of Jesus, which is all a metaphor as far as I'm concerned. And so they changed that now. So it's off of that to be Lucifer or whatever the fuck. And oh my God, the trafficker girl, she was even saying that one of the things that they do while they're worshiping their Satan ball or whoever, she said, yes, they're all a bunch of different groups. So it's like tons of people, but she said they get in competition of who can be the worst. In the whole mask situation, that the dripping kind, that was like a bar that was set. Who knows how many people did this? That they just try and out-gruesome each other. I probably all film it and share videos. Like, I don't understand wanting to just instill fear. I think one of the things that I was here for my own self to learn is because I heard this about souls before, that some souls just choose to go into a higher vibration incarnations because they don't want to deal with, like, evilness, and they want to learn from good and love and happiness and stuff, which, by the way, my name really is like Warrior of Love. But I really feel like I'm one of those souls. I don't. I don't. This is not my jam. This is just not my jam, this place. It's so painful. So painful, and it's like I said, it kind of trips me out, like what some souls want to come in and experience and go through, and it's fucking, ugh. Yeah, I think I like kind of being up in that happy place. This is, I don't, but there's things, that you learn from coming here. You learn from going through this stuff. And it is, like, all souls go through different experiences to learn from. And I think it is kind of like a different collective groups, like what I talk about with the galaxy or solar system and stuff, and the kind of souls or cells or where we, or how we're designed or whatever, like this is huge challenges to me, to be around so much hatefulness and so much pain and suffering. It is quite tedious. And it's frustrating. And sometimes I feel like I'm some sort of maniacal maniac because I hear people talking about things and I'll start laughing because I see it from the soul's perspective. I don't see it from their perspective in this 3D world. There's like, if people could just open their perspectives more and get outside of themselves and see that the world is so much bigger than their own projection of self, because they're so trapped in this three-dimensional world. That is what it is for. So you can go in and project and understand yourself. And I don't know. I mean, there's so much stuff about it. Like, I can't, as a soul, judge this experience. I can't say, like, that is a wrong kind of experience, because it is a worthwhile experience, because all universal knowledge comes from experience, and all experience has to be had to have the inner knowing. And we all learn by all learning. Everything happens. We all have a deeper understanding. Just like, if somebody comes up and pokes me with a pin right here, it's going to be the most pain right here, but everywhere in my body is going to know I was poked with a pin. So it is and you got to think of the micro, macro. We are all learning from each other all the time. And I just think like this, and I think a lot of people, are really waking up to the fact, like, of all of this pain and suffering, and, that it doesn't have to be this way. It can be different. But we all have to make it different. And I don't know, like, how this is going to divide. I don't even know, like, if this is, like, some kind of a separation in families and stuff. Like, was I supposed to go there so I could release them because we're going into different realities or something? Like, I don't know. I know, like, whatever's going to happen, whatever's about to go down, which is going to be big. Like, you see these you see all these people from all over the place saying something big is going to go down. It's not just crazy people. It's not just conspiracy theorists. It's not just the religious people. It's people all over know something's about to go down. They know. There's people that know that this is the end. This is a reset. This is the end of this experience. And a new one's coming, and that there's a lot of souls here that are here to go right into the next experience, to create the next experience, the seeders of the new age. Like, there's people here for that purpose. And that is the whole thing. Like, you can go in and watch there's so much of those QHHT sessions where people were talking about that. Like, this whole reset and the whole event, there's people here to go through it. And you have to have your vibration high enough to do it. If your vibration's not high enough, and the only way to raise your vibration is to heal. All these people who say, oh yeah, you just, meditate daily and you'll raise your vibration. Well, maybe if you meditate daily and then you really think about the stuff that comes up, and you use your meditation for healing, but just meditating is not going to hold your vibration up, because there will always be somebody who will come in and trigger an old memory, an old wound. And those are what holds you back. Those are the things, that make you have automatic responses to people. So you're not living your truth. You're just responding. And responding by your childhood wounds. You're a wounded child going out, trying to live a grown-up life, and you are just being triggered by every experience. And so if you go and you really put your time and effort in, just changing how you eat. And that isn't like, oh, you have to be vegan. If you're vegan, then you will raise your vibration. It's changing how you eat is to come into tune with your body, to really think about what you're putting in, what you're consuming. What is it? What are you eating it for? I really hit me that other day, where it's like the people who just eat because something tastes good and don't eat anything that's good for them. I had just seen something, and somebody was making something to drink, and they're like, oh, it's good for you. It's really, gross or whatever. It's like, why do people get into that? Like, they don't want to eat things that are good for them and take care of themselves, and then they're all out of shape and feel like shit, and then they think, well, I just want to eat cheeseburgers and whatever stuff that isn't good for you, and then think like your body's not doing right. Well, you're not doing right by your body. So just that alone, to tune into yourself. And, it could be, there's plenty of meat eaters out there who are healthy, who, it is all about gratitude too. It's about being appreciative of what you have to consume. And the people who are more prone to eating meat, it's in people's DNA. It's in their DNA structure. I know it comes from back at a time when there was certain foods in certain regions that were available, and those are things that people are more aligned to eat. However, it works in your DNA. It's in people's DNA. It isn't like that you could go and change it. You can't change that about yourself. There's plenty of people who go and become vegan, and then they become really, really sick. And so you're becoming vegan to prove that you're a good person, but you're getting sick, and your body's telling you this isn't working, but you're going to keep on pushing through. I'm going to make sure. I've got to prove I'm a good person. Everyone needs to know I'm a good person. I'm a vegan. I'm right here. I'm a vegan. It's like, okay, so is that, you got a good high vibration now? You feeling good? So it is, the raising your vibration is healing that kind of stuff. Like, I don't need to go out and prove to other people I'm a good person. I don't need to prove, because, I go to church every Sunday. I'm a Christian. I'm a Christian. Believe me, I go to church. And, I'm a good person. I don't eat meat. I'm a good person. All these people. It's like, who are you trying to prove you're a good person to? Who? Is there somebody that is more important than you? If you, I proved this weekend that I'm a good person to people who could give a shit. Could give a shit. Who knows what their perspective is? For all I know, they went back and just talked shit about me. Can you believe how stupid she is? That she drove all the, can you believe that? Who does that? Who shows up somewhere when their own daughter doesn't even want to talk to them and they show up? Don't invite people that you don't want there. It's like the games that some people play. It is, I don't know. It's like some people need to play games so that they have something to do. And it's a good distraction. You don't have to heal yourself if you're busy playing games with everybody else. So, whatever. But there was some other things I saw. I really feel I could not get to sleep last night. It wouldn't get off my mind. First thing this morning when I woke up, it was right back there. It's like, okay, I'm releasing whatever it is I'm supposed to be releasing. I'm letting go of whatever it is I'm supposed to let go. I'm trying to see the truth. I'm trying to process how I feel about the truth and all of that. I mean, that's all you can do, is to go through the process and trust your guidance. I mean, they are always, to me, they're always showing me and telling me and stuff. I just feel like people cut themselves off from their own guidance because they're always busy looking outside of somebody else for approval. But your guidance is showing you and telling you what you need to learn or know from each experience. So it is kind of like, pulling the card, and the card tells you, and then you get to move to the next thing. So the pulling the card is kind of like your higher self. Like you go through the experience, you move your space in the game, like if you're on Candyland or whatever, because this is a game. It's all a fucking game. So you move your space, you get into the next one, you pull your card, and it explains to you so that you are able and ready to move to the next one, because you need to go through the thing. You need to go through the experience. You need to go through processing and healing, whatever it is. This could be, I mean, so many different things that it would bring up. Rejection, trying, never appreciated, you love people who don't love you back. Like, there's a lot of deep stuff in the things that you need to get down into. And it is, it's like going through a busy tunnel to get to your truth. There's all sorts of stuff that's going on for you to try and get to your own truth. And so it's a process. Nobody should give up on it, like I'm not going to go and stop thinking about it, even though it's aggravating. I'm not going to force myself. I'm not going to think about that. I'll just go get a beer. I don't have to think about that. I'm just going to go call somebody or something. Oh, which, by the way, another thing too that I had said that I just knew, I could just feel it coming. And yesterday, my neighbor asked me, she gave me all these dates. Oh, I need a babysitter, blah, 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 would you be interested? And I was like, no, I don't. What? No. I was like, well, I've got company coming Friday. I mean, if you get desperate, she can come over here, but I've got things to do. And, when my kids were in school and I had stuff to do, I became friends with the other moms in school so they could go there, because the kids would way rather, if there's no school that day, they'd way rather hang out with their friend and play at someone's house than come over and sit at my house and watch me clean or something. I mean, it's just, I feel like, for one thing, people just assume, well, I don't see her doing anything. She seems to have plenty of time to me. It's well, you don't know what I'm doing with my time. You don't know what, I feel like people just assume so much, and then I'm sure I've hurt her feelings. She didn't say anything back, but it's I don't know. I do not want a job babysitting. I do not want oh yeah, I'll be there. No, I said I can handle an emergency, but no, I'm not setting my schedule around your kid's school. And then you think about, and this is what I was saying, and I'm not saying she's more guilty than anybody else. I was fucking guilty of it. I was guilty of being in the system. It's just, it's a different perspective that I can get now of being out of, or not being out of it. I mean, I'm still in it, but seeing through it and being around people who haven't seen through it and see what they're willing to do, just mindlessly willing to do. And it recognized fuck, I was that mindless at some point. Just, here, I've got to get to work. Will you take care of my children? Here's my kids. Will you raise my kids while I get to work? Kind of situation. It's and this isn't, I mean, it's not like a big career or something. You know, you'd think if you certain jobs, you'd be able to be like, well, no, my kids are more important. Like you have those kinds of jobs where, no, I'm here to work to get some money, but my kids are the most important. You know, if they're home, I'm home. But it's not like that. You know, it's like, oh, I've got to get there. You know, I just need someone to watch them. They're going to be home. It's like, no, no, that's not, no, no, no. It's not, no, I do not want to be raising somebody else's kids. And there's like oh my gosh, there are so many more things like about the whole thing. Like, no. And I don't know. I just, I don't want to be like rude about some things, but like the money is not like $20 or $30 is not worth it. I've got more things that my time is so much more valuable to me than what it is to somebody else. You know, I mean, and the money doesn't have value to me. Like some people, it has so much value to them. And just the whole thing of like, how many people I keep seeing complaining about the kids' schooling and just these parents who are just, here, take my kids, raise my kids, take my kids, raise my kids. I gotta get to work. I'm here, somebody take my kids. It's like, what has happened to our society, man? God, it's so much different than when I was a kid. I was thinking about that the other day, and I was thinking like, God, when we used to just all go out and run through the streets and riding our bikes and playing all day. Nobody wanted to stay in the house. Jesus Christ, you stay in the house with your neurotic mom or, I mean, I don't know. Was there any moms back in the 60s that weren't neurotic basket cases? Like, I've been watching all these old movies, especially these old sci-fi horror movies. Oh my gosh, so much disclosure. But all the time, they just have women just helpless, screaming, babbling fools. Like women were so like, anything could happen. There's, oh, I just got a cat, oh, everything. Every fucking thing. I was like, oh my God, these are the role models? God damn. No wonder all these women were just a bunch of basket cases. And then you got the other lady telling them, burn your bras, come and work. Just go to work. We want to be as important as men, don't we? It's like, well, maybe we started valuing women and valuing what women did and what women were doing for society. But that, you know, they're not going to do that because the system was anti-family. It was breaking it down a long time ago. They were breaking down women. And there's definitely, I mean, my mom was a teenager, but I'm telling you, like all the women, she had friends who were older. They're all neurotic. Everybody was drunk all the time. Everybody was drinking all the time and just sit and drink and smoke cigarettes all day long. And I think a lot of them were on, I mean, doctors were giving narcotics out. Like a woman wanted to lose weight. Here's some speed, take it. Oh, my kids get on my nerves. Here's some Valium, take it. Like people were on hardcore shit, drinking and, you know, so the kids didn't want to be in the house. We were outside and playing and having fun, you know, and building our own community. And it was hard too for me because, you know, I had to keep moving. I always became friends with the kids that lived next to me, not so much the kids in my class. It seemed like I was never in any class long enough to get to know anybody. So it would always be the kids that were just out playing in the neighborhood. And then we'd all go out and play together. It used to be really fun to do that kind of stuff, but I don't know. I know it's going to get back to that, but I think it, you know, I mean, it's when you see how fucking, I mean, like people, I swear to God, a teacher could walk in a fucking G-string and people be just, oh my God, I just can't believe it. Yeah, he's going to be there. Well, yeah, we'll be there about 8 o'clock. I'll meet you out front. We'll talk about it. It's like, what the fuck is wrong with people? God damn. Fuck. Ugh. God, I'm in a mood today. I don't even think I need to tell anybody I'm in a mood. It's quite obvious. lack of sleep and the tense energy. And I was talking when she was asking me about this whole babysitting thing, you know, like ready to hire me. And this is also the same person who, you know, told me I was a liar all through quarantine, like, and it's just, I don't know. Some people who have been watching me the whole time know about some of this stuff, and it was just like, yeah, no, no. No, I can be helpful in an emergency and stuff, but no, I'm not an employee. No, thanks. But so my daughter, one of my daughters was texting me at the same time as I was texting her. And then I sent a message and I said, this person keeps asking me to babysit. God, I hope they hurry up and find somebody else. I really do not like babysitting or something like that. I don't like, I can do an emergency, but I'm not here to be your worker or something, you know? And, after I sent it, I was hearing it super loud in my head, like a super, super loud. And I was like, I don't think I sent that to the right person. I don't know. I just went, it was stressing me out so bad. I just went and deleted the whole thing. I was like, I can't even go in and look. I can't. I think I'm gonna have a heart attack. And I was like, okay, if that is what happened, it was supposed to happen that way. She had to hear the truth. If that is what happened, the universe was like, okay, Kelly, you're gonna say this right to this person. So, if I did, well, you know, it's uncomfortable, it's awkward, but it's the truth. I'm sorry, you know, wasn't putting it in the newspaper, talking bad about you. I'm just saying, I hope you find a sitter, because I do not want this falling on me, you know. And I have a lot of empathy. You know, she's here. She has no family. She's not even in her own country. And I don't even know how some of them are raised. Maybe they don't have that same kind of networking system at the schools where moms do that. You know, that's kind of an American thing. And it may be even lost in a lot of American tradition where, I mean, younger girls are way different than older girls. Like, the whole way they look at things. Just, you know, when your kids got pulling their dress up and showing their underwear, and it's like, well, that's okay. Why should we shame them? We don't shame boys for doing it. Like, boys, I don't know how many boys are wearing dresses and panties out there. But if I had a son who was wearing a dress and panties, I would sure the fuck tell him, put your damn dress down. Nobody needs to see your underwear. You won't show. God damn, I don't know. This world. And it is this constant balancing act of, you know, accepting and not accepting, being a part and not being a part. You know, it's all fluid, it's all movement, and it's all balance. And it's so much. And I just saw this person sharing, and they were saying, because everybody's saying something big's about to go down, like really big is going to go down. And everybody knows lots of people are going to die. I mean, something's going to happen any moment of any day. And then it's going to go into the whole thing with healing and truth and people having to go through all of that. And, you know, we still have quite a ways to get to where we want to be. But this person was saying that we are surrounded. Like, she's like, there's so many ships up there. You can go out, you can look, and there's so many ships. And they're up there fighting and battling, and, you know, they're helping us. And I don't know. I mean, I think, I know that all of that stuff is real. I know that there is shit. I know that all of that stuff is real. I know it's not people from outer space and stuff. It's like the whole system is coming to its rescue for this changing of the ages. Like, this is big. It's really big. This changing of the ages, this great reset. And when you look up what great resets, what happens in a reset, look up what happens on Earth during a reset. And this is huge that we're here to experience this and go through it and get to the other side. Although some people, a lot of people won't get to the other side because they've already given up. They don't even realize what's going on. They've just given up. Life's too hard. And I don't shame them. It's very fucking hard, especially if you don't know what the fuck's going on and you don't understand. So, I don't know. I swear to God, sometimes I feel like I could just ramble and ramble and ramble for hours and hours. I could just sit here all day long and just keep talking and talking and talking. And then I start thinking, man, I don't even know if any of the stuff I'm saying makes sense to people. But it's like I could go deeper into like the explaining it. But it's like it's so vast. It's so huge. It's like some of the stuff doesn't even matter about it, you know? But you know what? And yesterday I did this one, and I really think this is so true. I said, you want to know what you're here for? You're here to experience what it is to be human. That's why you're here. You're here for the experience. You're here to see, what do you do as a human? What do you make of being human? How is human working for you? And then, that's what you're here to learn. So I don't even know what else to say about it. I'm going to go. I wanted to hurry up and get this done because when I was looking on the stuff, I was like, shit, things could really go any second. So I better hurry up and upload this if I want to get one out today. So I don't know. It's going to be the same for each day. If I have power and internet, I will record and talk and say, what I see going on. And I know it kind of, at this point, it is kind of like, that kind of safety net or something, like you form these groups of people. It's like, okay, I'm still here. Okay, well, this is what's going on and stuff, So I'll be coming and saying, as long as I have internet, and then I feel so certain. Once the power goes back, I'll be right there. I'll be there talking. Me and Stella, I think she's doing better since I increased the zeolite. I think that is the zeolite thing. And oh my God, this I gotta say too, this was disgusting. I'll probably think of a whole bunch of things that I wanted to talk about as soon as I go off of here. But this lady had gone to the store and she got this, like, it looked like big, thick. Like, it looked like an inch thick. And it was about like this round. It was as big as a head. It was fake, But it says she had on a plate. It was like a giant pork steak or something. And then she poured, I think it was Pepsi Cola on it. And the worms start coming out. Live worms start coming out of the meat. Then she's showing her husband. Her husband was freaking out. He's like, no. And so she poured out the Pepsi off of it, put it back over there, and poured a fresh. She kept pouring fresh because they don't like it. And oh my God, they rushed up. All of these worms rushed to the top. Giant ones were flying. Oh, it was so disgusting. Oh, it was so disgusting. And I heard that they have done that too with salmon. It's like, man. And then our vegetables, they're made out of fucking plastic or something. It's like, oh my God, I cannot wait till this is fucking over. God damn. I don't know what's going to go down with the food and how things are going to shift, Is it going to be whatever is going to happen in this reset does just put us all into our light bodies and we never need to eat again, but we remain in our consciousness in form, in living an experience in this reality. I think it might be kind of like that. Just like, the aliens will be like that. Will be a different state of being. We'll be able to move through dimensions and stuff more easily, more readily or something. I'm not sure. It's suspicious why they're trying to change people's DNA so much. Everything that they've done is just to keep us trapped in ignorance and then to use us for our energy and, you know, test subjects. So anyways, I'm going to go. So I'll talk to you later. Bye.